Hello PYP5. Today we're going to be looking at how to draw a nose. Okay, so what we're going to need equipment wise, we need a pencil. Ideally, just a HB pencil is fine. You might want to make sure it's nice and sharp. If you have a heavier pencil, like a 6B or a 9B pencil, that is great. We can use that today. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. The other thing I've asked you to see if you have any blenders. Now, blenders look like this. However, if you don't have a blender at home, sometimes they come in your packs of pencils. If you don't have any blenders, if you have a dry paintbrush, that can work as well for blending. And then also, if you have any of these at home, so these ear cleaners, a clean one, you can use one of them for blending, or you can just use a little bit of tissue, okay? So those are the things we're going to need today. And then also, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the nose, okay? So we're going to just draw step-by-step nose. Now, I'm going to start, now all of your noses will have like a sphere in the middle. So I'm going to just lightly, I'm going to draw a circle, and this is going to be sort of the ball of my nose, okay? So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Then what I can do is I can plan out the bridge of my nose. Now, what I want to do is I'm just planning it out. So it's going to be up here, okay? So it's a nice straight nose. I'm drawing it very, very lightly with my sharp pencil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to plan out the brackets on each side of my nose. So I'm going to have a bracket here and a bracket here. So I'm just sketching at this point. Now, because mine is a straight nose, it's a little bit upturned, I'm going to draw my nostrils because I can see them. So I'm going to have a nostril here and a nostril here, like so. Okay, so I've kind of planned out the structure of my nose. I've got the brackets around my nose. I've got the base of my nose here. I've got this sort of sphere. And then I have a bit of a bridge. Now, when you're younger, as a child, you don't really see this bridge, okay? It's only really when you get older that this becomes more and more defined. So what I'm doing now is I don't need this sphere here anymore because I've drawn the structure of my nose. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to look at shading. Okay, so this is my nose. I'm happy with what it looks like. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use tone and shading to make this look three-dimensional. Okay, so what we're going to do is we can use the white of the paper as the highlight. We can use a grey by just shading lightly, and we can use a dark tone by pressing down harder, okay? So if I look at my picture, the darkest tones are going to be inside the nostrils. So I'm going to start with them, and I'm going to just add some shadow, some shading, just in those nostrils, so I can see that they are going to be the darkest part of my nose, okay? I'm also going to add a little darkened part here to the base of my nose, and a little darker over here where the brackets are. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the grey mid-tones, these lighter tones, to my drawing. Okay, so I have my highlights Here, what you can do as well is if you haven't got your highlights still, you can always use your eraser to just add them in. I've got my mid-tones, which are these lighter parts that I've shaded, and then I've got my darker tones here in the nostrils. I'm going to just add a little darker tone up here as well. Now, because your skin is smooth, what we can do is we can use blenders to blend our tones to make them smoother. So you can't. So like I said, you can use either a blender if you have one. You can use an ear cleaner that's clean to do this, or you can use a little bit of tissue. What I don't want you to do though is use your finger. So at this point, once I've added my tone, I can then just sort of smudge the tones together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on top. Any highlights I can see, I'm going to add them with my eraser. The trick to a good drawing is when you're finished, or when you think you're finished, to just then go in and keep working, just adding even more crisp details. So I'm just getting a really nice bold line there for the bracket of my nose. And I'm going to do the same on this side. It's a little darker. So I'm just, even though I could have said it was finished then, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check and work into it even more, just to make it even more crisp and in focus.